Hi everyone, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel. Now, I need to be honest here. If I didn't make that last video where I said the 3 C's of consume, clarify, and then create, I honestly probably wouldn't even be here making this video. And for that, I kind of just proved my own point of getting your thoughts out and then building on those thoughts and ideas. In a way, I also kind of forced myself to keep writing on this topic because there was the possibility that it could keep growing, and I guess it did. So let's get into what the 3 C's are. C number 1 is consume. This first step is probably what 90% of most people get stuck on in the process of the 3 C's. We live in a consumer's world. I will say this time and time again. I will keep saying this because it is very true. And the market presents us with things that make our lives comfortable. And when you're stuck in your comfort zone, you kind of don't really grow when you're comfortable. And growth is pretty important for self-development, which is kind of what this whole channel is leaning towards. Things such as social media are great ways for consuming. You also need to be careful with what you're consuming because sometimes it can just be a pile of useless information that is taking up precious space in your mind and your brain and ultimately distracting you from the overall goal of what consuming is for. Quick information is not all the time the best. I've seen people in the form of like the Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. I've seen it where people can actually get pretty good ideas and topics into that very short span of time, and I've seen it for myself that some of it's really just not informational, and it's just like, oh, these quick stories, or like, oh, what happened with this person, or what happened with that person, and honestly, it's like, do we really need all that information, or is it just because we're bored? They don't really seem to align with any of your real goals in life. Sometimes I feel like my feed is just an endless cycle of scrolling and consuming, and escaping this constant cycle of just consuming, whether it's good information or bad, can be pretty hard. Escaping that takes a lot of something that people don't really have these days, and that is awareness or mindfulness. They are comfortable with the idea that they can get a quick dopamine fix by just scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of posts within a very short amount of time, especially when they have other things to do in their life, like maybe a pile of dishes in the sink that's been sitting there for a couple days. People are more comfortable with the fact that they don't have to do any work in their life, rather than just getting it done, doing that quick 5-minute workout, or 10 minutes of doing laundry or whatnot, or maybe the 10 minutes of writing to yourself or journaling or something that's actually helping you improve. So being aware of what you're consuming, and especially for how long you're consuming, is extremely important, and it's a skill that is a must learn, and I'm still learning it for myself, honestly. A good way of kind of keeping you on track is maybe setting timers for some of these apps. And another tip is to frequently ask yourself some of the following questions. Is what I'm doing in this very moment actually helping me towards my goals? Don't know what your goals are? Well, then take 5 to 10 minutes to brainstorm, get creative. It's time to put the phone down and really think, what are my goals in my life? And also try not to think about what other people might want you to do. You know, there's a lot of pressure these days with maybe parents or school or whatever. Just really focus on what you truly feel is right for you. C number 2 is clarify. And this is what I mentioned in the last video that I made, which I will put down in the description. You need to take time after you have consumed something, maybe it's a video or a blog or whatever informational thing, even reading books. But you need to take time to actually clarify with yourself what that information means to you and how it can or maybe will apply to your life and to your dreams or goals or whatever. Ask yourself, or maybe even write down, take some notes about what your thoughts were on that video. Was there parts that you resonated with, or were there parts that maybe you still have questions about, or maybe you just overall disagree with? Really take the time to study what you have just learned. Don't just let it come in one ear and out the other. I know this one can be hard, but just sit with yourself in the boredom. I feel like this boredom is so important because it actually starts the process in your mind of creation. You first need to clarify and then create on that thought, and then see where it leads you. And again, with the awareness, we need to constantly be checking in with ourselves and filtering through the information that we have received, and to try not to get distracted with the true goal at hand. I might have mentioned this in the last video too, but when something doesn't resonate with me, sometimes it's harder to take action on it. In this case, making YouTube videos. If I spend too much time in the step number 1 or C number 1 of consuming, I'm never going to actually get to clarify that information with myself. I'm always going to be taking in, and not filtering through what I've already processed. Now, this leads me to my last C. You can have all the consuming and all the clarity on something, maybe more specifically a certain topic you're interested in, but you have to actually continue with that and have confidence in yourself to keep building on your thoughts and ultimately create. It's very, very common to overthink this step and the process of creating. And I truly believe that once you find your personal reason for doing something, you will do it. As long as you have the knowledge from consuming and you have the clarity with yourself and the confidence with yourself that that idea can grow bigger and bigger, you need to understand yourself and your own thoughts just as much as the information that you've received. With that, there may still be some hesitation. If you think you're doing something wrong, just keep doing it, because maybe with all the trial and error, you will eventually get your final product. And even if it's not perfect, I know for me, I'm such a perfectionist, especially when making these videos and starting YouTube. I want everything to be so perfect, but sometimes I just need to get my thoughts out, or else they're never going to get out. My ideas are never going to leave my mind, and if I'm not clearing what's already in my mind, I won't have room for more information. I have already consumed so much, and I've spent so much of my time consuming, and now I feel like I'm in the step of my life where I am really clarifying and gaining clarity on the knowledge that I already have. Back to going on to what resonates with me. If I find a topic or something or an idea that doesn't really resonate with me, sometimes it is good to just build on it a little bit, and if it still doesn't, then that's okay. Sometimes things that don't resonate with you are a lot harder to take action on. Hi. In the creating step, it also takes a little bit of discipline and just forcing yourself to get out of your comfort zone, no matter what's going on in your life. Getting out of your comfort zone is really the only way you can grow. I don't want to be a consumer all my life, and I'm pretty sure most of the people don't want to be consumers either, and getting stuck in that comfort zone. That's another reason why I started this YouTube channel, because I'm getting so bored of consuming all the time. That's why I'm choosing to take the time to sit with myself in that boredom and discomfort, to clarify the knowledge that I already have, and to continue my goal of creating content. With all that being said, I hope you guys got some sort of insight from this video that you can apply to your own life and to your own goals. Remember to take time to clarify information that you've already processed, because it can be pretty useful information if we just take the time and look at it. Go through the video, write down your questions, write down answers to those questions, and if you need to keep researching, keep researching. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's why I am choosing to take the time. Ow! No! No, 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 baby. Let's not do that, please. Can you put it back in? Can you please put it back in? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.